Hey, beautiful Capricorns. Welcome back. Welcome back. I've got this huge deck here. It's hard for my hands. So bear with me here, Capricorn. I hope you're all doing super amazing. Thank you for joining me, being you, and everything that you do, Capricorn. Using diplomacy, okay? You may have to use diplomacy and see something. Maybe someone's far-sighted, okay? Vitality, self-assurance, and understanding. So maybe you've had to be very understanding, very diplomatic here. Maybe you see something coming that other people's don't see. Okay? Like, it's your energy. So, there's a strong magnetism here. It's like you've been able to transmute your pain, your suffering, you've been very diplomatic. Okay, and now let's see what's going on. Have to use tact and diplomacy here about something. Yep. To create abundance here. You're going to have to be very tactful and diplomatic in order to get some abundance going here. You're going to have to be very creative. You're going to have to use foresight into something. Let's find out what your finances are saying. Could be about investments or finances, a part of a fortune. I don't know. Someone's been settling. I don't know. You're going to have to watch your health. Maybe somebody is envying. Maybe somebody is envying your abundance. Others could be envying your success. Be careful who you trust with money matters. Okay? Because whatever they got some kind of unhealthy, unstable finances because they're settling. And they're envying your fortune. Or they're envying your abundance here. Other people are envying you, your finances. Be careful who you share money matters with. Because they are unfulfilled. So, justice. Something might be broken, but not all is lost. Gonna have to use the law of attraction. This is Gaia. So your goals. Be careful who you discuss your financial matters with. Okay? Because they're fear-mongering. Be persistent. Be careful who you surround yourself with, because they may be envying your career. They may be envying your finances. The Lee said, be diplomatic about it. But when people are poking their nose into your finances, be diplomatic about it. But because someone definitely is. Because they're unsatisfied and unfulfilled. So don't discuss your ideas. Okay? Like, you seem to be very abundant over here and happy. At peace with your finances. This is Gaia. You're in the energy of attraction. So someone's pinching pennies and they're unsatisfied, they're unfulfilled. And I think you should not discuss your finances. Like, you could be a leader and they could be making fun of you or mocking you somehow. They're jealous of your material wealth, for sure. Somebody around you you should not trust, because they could be setting you up here. Be careful. Like, you're surrounded by abundance here. Be very diplomatic, but do not. And they could be perceiving, it's their own perception. Like, they could be perceiving that you got it made, or jumping to conclusions about you or something like that. Just like, be diplomatic. Yeah, this is like they're judging you. They're judging you for what you have. Like, you could be a boss or leveling up. You've leveled up somehow. There's a chance of more financial income here. You're bringing your finances to the next level. Don't discuss this. Be very diplomatic, but don't discuss your finances. Because they are secretly envious of what you have. Maybe, you know, I don't know. They're resentful because they have little. And they might be trying to cause a downfall for you, or they're angry because they themselves are going through a crisis or something with their money. And they, you know, be careful who you're talking to about your finances. Be very diplomatic when it comes to lending money, discussing finances. Yeah. Like, you could have an increase here, or a part of an increase in fortune, but don't discuss your finances. Keep it a secret. Be secretive about what you're working on, what you're doing for work, how much money you're making, stuff like that. It's But be diplomatic about it. You know what I mean? It's like, because they're gonna judge you for being selfish or all into yourself or something, but it's the energy of attraction. Careful who you surround yourself with, because misery likes company, okay? And that's why you want to be around people who, whoa, humble, be humble and stay in the law of attraction. It's awful that you can't share your wins with people, you know what I mean? Well, you can with the right type of people, but not around certain groups. You just can't. Some kind of increase in money. And it's really hurting someone else to see that, because they're in lack. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so you're gonna have to be careful who you tell about your finances thing. If someone's inquiring, be diplomatic about it. Basically, tell them in a nice way you don't want to discuss your finances. Well, you really shouldn't, okay, because it's making somebody else very envious. Now, it's the company you're keeping, if you're surrounded by people that get envious of you because you're winning, you're going to have to surround yourself with people who want to see you win. The last thing you need is to discuss your finances with people who don't have any. Okay? Be tactful, be diplomatic, but just say, I don't want to discuss my finances. It's just what I always used to say when people were inquiring and stuff like, oh my God, because I honestly did encounter that, and I was shocked. I just jumped to the conclusion that everybody's happy to see you win, but they're not. They're really not. good people are. Like, they'll, whether they're wealthy or whether they're broke, they'll be happy to see you win. But not everybody's like that. So you got some good financial news coming to you. Keep it to yourself. Isn't that something? Like, you could be getting a raise, a promotion. Your money is leveling up. Your money is leveling up. So be careful what you say about it. I don't know. My folks always used to tell me there are just certain things you shouldn't discuss. Money is one. Religion or politics are another. Okay, because like, be diplomatic about it. You know, don't wage war or anything, but politely, tactfully just say, you know, I just have this policy not to discuss my finances. Nothing personal. It's just that I have this belief that I don't want to discuss my finances. You don't have to tell them why. You don't have to explain yourself or anything like that. Just say, that's just something I've made a personal choice on, that I don't want to discuss my finances. And if they keep drilling you about it, well, it's because generally they want to pick it apart somehow. So if somebody even asks about your finances or a polite declaration, you know, I've just got this policy. You know, I don't want to discuss my money. No offense. No, nothing. Not being secretive. It's just, I don't like discussing my finances. Now, I was talking to somebody who kept drilling me and drilling me and drilling me about that, and I did do a polite declaration. It's just, I don't feel comfortable discussing that, is all I said. I don't feel comfortable discussing that. And they kept drilling me and drilling me and drilling me till finally I had to say, don't know, and sternly. And it kind of offended people, but I tried politely, a polite declaration at least 3 times, and they wouldn't let up. So finally I had to get a little stern and say, look, I don't feel comfortable discussing it, okay? There are just some things I don't feel comfortable talking about, and that's one of them. All right? The other thing I had to come up with was, I gotta go. Oh my God. My phone is ringing. I'm sorry, I gotta take this call. Well, why are you so worried about, why are you so concerned about my finances? I don't know. There's certain people I have no problem discussing my finances with. And other people I know are only asking to be nosy so they can gossip about it. And I don't feel comfortable talking to those kinds of people about money. Because I know they don't mean me well. So you may be in that situation where, or here's the other one. Oh my God. Gee, you seem to be doing really well. I used to get this. I've had businesses most of my life, okay? I started very early. And I've had businesses almost my entire life. Okay, my adult life, that is. And I was self-employed and I had a pretty good thriving business. And I used to get hit up all the time. Can you hire me? So-and-so needs a job. Can you hire so-and-so? Can you hire so-and-so? Can you hire so-and-so? And I've learned, don't hire people that you want to maintain a good relationship with. Why? Because if something goes wrong, unless you have it in writing or an agreement that you're not going to be treated any differently than any other employee here, and this is what I expect of you, and you're not going to get any favoritism, then don't hire them. Like, so-and-so must be doing well. I've been hit up. Oh my God. And back in the day when I was in my 20s and early 30s, I didn't know how to say no to people. I really didn't. I felt guilty. I didn't know how to say no to people. Can you give so-and-so a job? Okay, we'll give them a try. And I didn't like so-and-so. And I knew so-and-so wasn't going to work out, but I would do it anyway out of guilt. And then I end up having more of a job to do because I didn't hire the right employee. Or there's another one. Can I get an advance on my pay? Can I get advance on my pay? Until they advance so much money that they don't have a paycheck. It gets really awkward, guys, when you can't say no. And when people ask you questions and questions and questions, it's like, careful what you're sharing. Because not everybody means you well. I've learned all of that the hard way. I never had anybody to sit me down and explain that kind of stuff to me. I've had to learn firsthand, and I've made a lot of mistakes with people and discussing finances with them. And I've learned, don't do it. Especially and don't feel guilty about it either. Like I said, when people now ask me over the last maybe 20 years, I'm just absolutely not. Don't go there. I don't ask you what you make, and don't be asking me what I make. Because quite often they will, if they're envious, try to sabotage what you're doing. You've had, and somebody is pretty sneaky here. Beware. Be careful, again, of who you talk to regarding money or business matters. That's a double warning. Especially when you're manifesting, you know? Especially when you're manifesting. Else they may try to sabotage it. Okay? So if you're busy trying to manifest things, it's almost like, and you speak too soon, and it's not like you can tell people after the fact. But if you're busy trying to manifest things, don't tell people. Yeah, you could say that. You could say it's idealism. I focus more on spirituality than I do material things. Come up with a diplomatic answer or something like that. But quite honestly, it's none of their business. But you want to be diplomatic. Find a diplomatic way of saying it. Okay? Take care.